Hey guys, I'm back with more Katawa Shoujo. In the last episode, we agreed to a game of Risk, and I lost. I thought it was a trap, but it wasn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe both options were bad. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, Hichan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Hichan. You didn't take enough risks when you did. You didn't follow through. That's terrible, Hichan. Damn, what's it to her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. Uh-oh, she's getting close to me. I wonder if you'd even be any good for the student council. What's this reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up just like that, I expected more of you. Seriously, is Shizania trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet, and these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide. Really, Hichan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah, I'm just not sure what I want that I want to. Oh. So mean to them. Okay, Hichan, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more risks and maybe risk, and maybe one day you could beat me, unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Wow, surely you are not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game, you know, than to give you a handicap. I might have said that just to make you feel better after all. Oh, that's cold, Chan. So mean. Why am I so mean? I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Suzume scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shichan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. I can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though. Just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push. You gingerly push? What? Alright. On the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it was much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head over further inside against sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure, taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the door staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently pushes down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Wavy-haired girl. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being. Oh, okay, she's a being separate from the one from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I have ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I have met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes, means she must be at least partially blind, like Kinji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get a distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers. Of course not. Have you seen? Accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hastened to match before realizing the futility of the action. I am Lilly Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she keeps off the chair. She steps off and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer and preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Sakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell is quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Well, I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. So sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Ugh. Looking at her face, though she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, I guess. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. I wonder if the mic picked that up. I'm not gonna mention what it was, but I'll look at it later in the video. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with the conditions. A category which would include her, it seems all too ready to jump ship from this particular topic. I see you in another. I seg you. Ugh. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties are class representative. Don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to the words Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lilly seems to be relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the basketball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I really let my guard down with this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh, the time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course, she can't see the sun setting. It looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Hisao, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. Oh no, it's okay. The library is still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. There it is again, that sound. I wonder if I can pick it up. If you're sure, then that'd be great, thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the hand of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. This must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Yes. Together we have the peaceful room and enter the what? The empty? Why was I about to say temple? Empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walked through the hallway. Not library, hallway. Getting ahead of myself. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old-world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it in the thin air since the librarian doesn't come to be present, and of course Lilly can't see this. Most unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ow. She hit her head, I guess. Leorden, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lilly, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Yeah, she did hurt her head. Well, it's past 15 minutes again. So we'll see you guys next time for more Katawa Shoujo.